All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Austin.
Suzy.
Welcome back to Host Financials Podcast. Today, we are talking all things Navy Federal. By the end of this episode, we're hoping that you learn some gems, some tips, something that might help you with your Navy Federal journey. But we're talking all things Navy Federal today. Hot topic. A lot of people love Navy Federal, and I can kind of see why.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gems that make Navy Federal really not user friendly, but what's the word I'm looking for? Beginner friendly.
Beginner friendly.
Or if your credit score is not in the sevens or anything like that. Like, I mean, there's just a lot good there. So
Yeah.
we're gonna dive into it. We help business owners secure business funding for your business, and so if that's something you're interested in, click the link below to work with us. Now let's get into the video. So starting up, we have personal experience with Navy Federal, right? We have a business check, we have a checking account, and we also have we had a
So
CD account, right? A certificate deposit account.
yeah, so we have a personal checking.
Mm-hmm.
We have a CD account that
Yep.
earns interest. I think it was one of the highest at the time, like 2-3 years ago. It was like almost 5% APY, which
Mm.
is super high
Okay.
for banks.
Hold on. Before we jump too much into, I forgot to ask, how you doing? You
I'm
good?
doing good. I'm feeling a little bit down under the weather, but good next to you.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. All right. So let's yeah, thanks for asking. You're gonna ask me how I'm doing?
Yeah, how are you?
That was so awkward. All right, let's talk about Navy. That seems to be easier. Okay. So continue. You were talking about certificate deposit. We'll just keep on Navy.
Certificate of deposit, and we have a personal credit card.
Yeah, we do have a personal credit card. Which credit card do we personally have with
We
Navy?
have the black travel card,
Yes.
and I think it's $49 monthly. I'm sorry, not monthly. $49 yearly fee.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with Navy Federal, there's a lot of things that people need to know. We talk to a lot of clients, and a lot of people want to get into Navy Federal.
Yep.
And so getting into Navy Federal isn't hard per se. You just need to. There's a process you have to go through if you don't have any military family, right? You can get in using someone else's like access code or something like that.
Yeah. So essentially, you would need like their member code.
The member code.
So
That's
if
what
you
it
have a
is.
friend or family member that they can allow you to use it.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to mention that you're in the same household, which shouldn't be hard. They're not going to ask for proof
Yeah.
that you live under the same household. But if you don't have a family member and or a friend that can do that, there are some groups out there that will sometimes allow you to pay so that you can get in. I'm not gonna go into detail on that, but there are ways out there to do it if you don't have a family member and such.
Yeah. Why not? Why don't you want to go into detail?
Man, YouTube might shut us down.
YouTube shows man. Everybody talking about Navy Federal.
So yeah, so you can pay somebody for their access code. I believe anywhere from like 50 to $150.
Okay. Yeah, we not selling it, but that don't mean we can't tell people that's what's happening. So that's how a lot of people are getting in Navy Federal. Like they're paying for these member codes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but all right. With that said, there's a couple things that you should know about Navy Federal. Obviously, a lot of people are looking for ways to improve their credit, to get access to funding, to get loans. Right, a lot of people have their personal loans, their auto loans, their the Go Biz, the business credit card. They like using Navy Federal for that reason. And Navy Federal is tightened up, and so that's why also we're making this video to kind of refresh
Yep.
some of the new things. And so some things to consider when it comes to Navy Federal is this concept of an internal score,
Yeah.
right? Which this is a phrase that we're seeing a lot from a lot of major banks, and also our boy Hezzy's here. This is a phrase we're seeing a lot from a lot of major banks, and pretty much it's just a bank's way of ranking your relationship with them,
Yeah.
right? But with Navy, the internal score primarily only affects credit cards.
Yes, exactly. So it doesn't really affect whether you're going to get, approved for an auto loan or a business card or a business line of credit or anything else other than a credit card.
Yeah,
So if you plan on wanting to get a credit card with Navy, then you probably need to work on your internal score. And we can dive into what an internal score is and
yeah,
how do you boost it.
yeah. Well, let's talk about it. Let's jump into it. So the Navy Federal internal score is it's a really popular thing, and the way you affect that internal score is a couple of factors. One is your banking, right? Like
Yeah.
having a relationship with them to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, so it's a combination of like three things. One is, like you said, the banking. You want to have as much of their products as possible, meaning, a CD account
Yep.
or a personal bank
Pledge
account, a
loans.
savings bank account, a pledge loan, which means that you're using your own money to come up with something that's called like a personal loan. But it's,
Hmm.
again, your own money. You're fabricating a loan, but it
Hmm.
doesn't report as a fabricated loan on your credit report. So that's the cool part. So honestly, like the more you use your bank account, you use it as your main bank. You get your direct deposits from your job into there, even if it's as small as like $25,
Yeah.
right? So you tell your job you want $25 to go to Navy, and then the rest to Chase or however you want to set it up. But all those things in combination will build your internal score over time.
Yeah, it's really the relationship that you build with Navy carries so much weight, and to the point where even if you have subpar credit, when I say subpar, I mean below 700.
Yeah.
Even if you have subpar credit or even low 600s, as
Yeah.
long as there's no derogatories on there, if you have a high internal score, which means like Suzy was saying, like you're using the account, money is coming in and out of Navy in a predictable fashion. You're having good financial patterns
Yeah.
inside of Navy, that carries a lot of weight. And for a personal example, like for us, we got a credit card with Navy, and we only got approved for
It
was
was like 13, but
13,000.
at the time I didn't really know. We didn't really know like the internal score
Yeah,
scenario. I mean, we have good credit. So I was like, we're going to get approved, right?
yeah.
So we got 13, but that was no internal score. I mean, we literally opened the account and applied same
Hmm.
day.
Yeah, yeah. So, so with that being said, though, the reason I brought that up is because, we have great credit by all definitions of it, score, mix, everything. Um, but we know some people that don't have the greatest credit, and they got approved for like 20,000,
Yeah.
and their credit is definitely like their
Below
score is
700.
below 700, but they use Navy Federal as their primary bank.
Yeah, they for sure have direct deposit going in there. We know that for a fact. They have, their everyday spending,
Hmm.
Ross,
Hmm.
TJ Maxx, all that good stuff. So they got 20. I wasn't surprised, right? Because we never built that relationship with them. I didn't honestly care to
Yeah.
because I was like, we have good credit. We don't need to do all that.
Yeah, yeah. But I
Um,
want to focus more on like what's working though.
yeah,
Like,
what's working
yeah,
is
let's talk about that more
is
because that's what's going to help the people.
yeah, the internal score for sure is going to help those that have, scores below 600. I'm sorry, not 600, below 700.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen even scores below 600 because I mean, here's the thing: you either have a low credit score because you have some derogatories, you made some bad decisions on your credit, or your credit is younger, you're still just building it up, and there's just not enough on your credit. But if you have a good relationship, you're moving things in and out of Navy Federal, you're using the relationship, that'll take you a long way. And so even with that, but let's say you already have, a personal credit card, right? What's the rule for people that have a personal credit score or credit card, but they're trying to increase their credit limit per se, get a
Yeah.
credit limit increase?
Yeah. So with Navy, you can ask for a credit limit increase every 90 days. So let's say you apply today, you have 90 days from today to request a credit limit increase.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually suggest doing it on the app. So
Mm-hmm.
download the app on your phone and request it from the phone because
Yes.
they will not do a hard pull. It's a soft pull, which means they're not going to ding your credit. If you call in or if you try to do it over the phone, whatever, they are going to do a hard increase. So always do it through the app.
Yep.
Again, it's 90 days, but remember, for them to increase a credit limit, you have to show proof that you've been using the card a lot
Yes.
and you've been paying, using
And you're gonna see
things.
that a lot. That's gonna be a theme of this video. Like use any. This goes for any bank, to be
Any
honest with you.
bank, honestly.
Use the products, run it up, pay it off.
Yeah.
They like people like that. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what your limit is. Use it up, pay it off often, because then for them it justifies them giving you more.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but even with credit limit increase, like it's always better to even start and hit the ground running with a high limit. It's easier to wait and get a higher limit when you first apply to a Navy Federal credit card versus having a low limit and then trying to build up from there, because it's a slow build up
Yeah.
versus if you can come in, you got your business, you have your checking account. And then also another thing I would recommend is they have like, I think it's called the everyday
Yeah,
checking account.
I was gonna mention that. So what's really gonna boost your score even more, your internal score, I mean, is switching from like the everyday checking account, which is like the low tier level checking account, to the flagship checking account,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is on the tier higher than that.
Yep.
So making that switch really shows them that you're invested, that you're using their banking products, and that you really want to form that long lasting relationship with them, and thus increasing your internal score, which is what everybody wants to do with Navy, essentially.
Yeah, because then you get more products, and there's a bunch of products that, now, like I mentioned, I'll say it again: the internal score really matters for credit card approvals, and so it probably help with your credit line, credit limit increase.
Yep.
Again, do that on the app, and when you do, I think it's a soft pull, but it helps with the credit card. It doesn't help with some of the other products that Navy Federal has. It doesn't hurt it though.
It doesn't hurt it, but the main focus is for the credit cards, like you said.
Yes, the internal score specifically, but your financial rhythms inside of Navy will carry weight when you go apply for their products.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
at the end of the day. So, even for example, they have personal loans,
Yeah.
right? Like, what's I think,
Yeah, the threshold.
yeah. How much you can get for personal loan?
So you can get personally about 50K.
Yeah.
But the cool part is if you have a co-borrower, so let's say you have your grandmother borrowing with you, now you're able to access 150K between the both of you combined. So FYI, if you want more, then you're gonna have to have a co-borrower kind of go in hand with you and get that extra limit.
Yeah. Now the reason that works is because normally if you just have two people, you'll get your 50,000, the other person will get the 50,000 if you qualify for the personal loan. Yeah. Now, all the requirements still apply. You need to have 700 plus credit score. Because the internal score is not a factor here, you still need to have good credit. But max will get about 50K. Someone else can go in there, they'll get 50K. Hey, big guy. But if you do the co-borrower route, they'll combine you as one household unit.
Yep.
And it's very similar to taxes, right? Then you go from, you guys, the max you can get together is 100 to the household unit will be combined, and then you get approved potentially for 150,000.
Yeah, potentially 150 is like the ceiling with Navy for two borrowers
for personal loans.
Yep.
And then obviously we're a big fan of auto loans. Our auto loan is with Navy, I believe.
It is.
Yeah. Our auto loan is with Navy.
I think it was a good rate when we got it. It's gonna be 3 years ago when we first.
Yeah, what's our interest rate with Navy for the auto loan?
Honestly, it was super low at the time.
True, we got it a couple years ago, like around 2020 area.
3.75.
Yeah.
Which right now it's unheard of, but they're still giving out like 5.99, which isn't terrible.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst either.
Yeah. No, it's really, really good. And so, and very similar to a personal loan, like having decent credit, all those things go a long way with, but also like we talked about usage, using their products. They're probably your number one advocate. Hey, Papa Bear. Hey, why are you crying? This guy, hold on. I'm gonna pick him up real quick. Hey, my man, do you want to come up here and talk about Navy Federal?
I think he does. We'll see what he has to say.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Oh, it's a little hot back here. There we go. There's my man. All right, he liked the spotlight. So when it comes to auto loans, you want to make sure that you have good credit. But like I was going to say, the most important asset you have when it comes to Navy Federal, after you get over the obstacle of getting into Navy Federal, is using your personal checking account. Yeah. Upgrading to a flagship, move money in and out, get a certificate of deposit. Even if you're your own business owner, if you're self-employed, find a way to do direct deposit through payroll software.
Yeah.
We used in the past payroll software, ADP.
We've used ADP in the past, but right now we're currently using Gusto.
Gusto's
a little bit more they're cheaper. They're like $50 a month, whereas ADP could be like $100.
Okay.
So if you guys are looking for a payroll software, Gusto is the way to go. We have a personal link where you can get, some promo
Yeah.
if you use that link.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So, that's the thing that we've seen the most with Navy Federal. If you're trying to succeed with Navy Federal, get approved for a lot of their products, you want to make sure you have a great internal score for the credit card applications. But but the things that grow your internal score are also the things that are going to grow your odds of getting approved for high limits on their other products,
Yep.
like personal loans and auto loans, which would be moving money, like good financial behavior habits. So, like if I had to put in order, your internal score is first because then that's the thing that'll help you get high limits on your credit card.
Yep.
Credit card. Then after your internal score, that matters way more with Navy Federal. After your internal score, you want to make sure you get your credit up, your credit is pristine.
Yeah.
And then only after those things, the next thing that matters the most is your behavior, right? How you bank. This guy just talking. How you bank is so important.
Yeah.
Are you moving money in consistently? Are you moving money in? Are you holding a balance?
Yeah.
It's way more attractive to Navy to have an account that's only been open for 3 to 6 months, that's got a lot of usage,
Right.
than an account that's been like, hey, you've been with Navy for 5 years. Your age won't determine your value in Navy's eyes. Your usage is what determines your value in Navy's eyes. And it's real easy to manipulate that with the pledge loan example.
Yes. So the pledge loan, direct deposits, using your debit card here and there, getting a CD account, all those things is what's gonna help you with that internal score. And like you were saying, usage matters more than just having an account that's never been used.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are really good tips that you gave out right there.
So we hope that helps. We get a lot of questions about Navy Federal all the time. It's a really popular bank. And honestly, if this video it helps somebody that's trying to succeed in Navy Federal, send this to them. Everything we're talking about is foundational when it comes to really doing well with Navy Federal and being able to apply and really just um, get the most. Now, obviously, there's data points and little things like that, but what we just shared today in this video, honestly, will really set you apart and put you in a whole different level, whole different stratosphere.
Yeah.
So that right there is super important. And so, and again, if you're looking for funding for your business, if you're trying to figure out, I'm looking for 0% interest business credit, or I'm looking for personal credit, depending on what your goal is.
Or
We work with a lot of real
credit.
or business line of credit, right? We help business owners structure their businesses, give them data points, and so they can present to banks. We help them what we're talking about right here, boost their internal scores to get approved, on top of connecting them with underwriters and things like that. So
Yep.
if that's your interesting, click the link below to work with us, and we'll be excited to help you there.
All right.
Okay.
Guys.
So with that said, got some fun questions to answer.
Nice.
Let's see. I think my question to you is, this guy's trying to grab the mic. What's a small moment from the past week that you're grateful for?
Small moment was being able to go to the park with our girls and just
We got 3 kids, by the way, if you're new to this channel.
yeah, go to the park with our girls and having homeschool at the park. Super flexible, super fun. So they get to have fun, but then they can also learn and read a book at the park. So that's really grateful for that, because not a lot of people honestly have that opportunity. A lot of people work 9 to 5s,
Yep.
and they don't see their kids. They're at daycare most of the time. You only see them for bedtime, and so
Yeah.
just realizing like that option is there for us,
Yeah.
and not to take that for granted, and soak that in as much as possible.
Yeah, that's probably been the biggest blessing as a business owner. My moment I'm grateful for is really similar. Just we have slow mornings with the kids. They our daughter our daughter right now at the time of recording, she's about 5 years old, so she's at kindergarten age. But we decided to homeschool. But before that, we worked 9 to 5, did the whole corporate job thing. You could look me up on LinkedIn. Worked in heavy civil infrastructure, construction, flew around the country, all this stuff. But we took a big leap starting this business. And a lot of people here, even if you're watching this video, you're probably a business owner. You're like, hey, I want to start a business. I want to change my family's legacy. I want to be able to work from anywhere in the world. Whatever the goal is, it's 100% attainable. And then when you attain it, you might not have the Maserati, you might not have the mansion, you might not be flying first class. But as long as that box is checked that you initially started this journey for, that's the most important part.
Absolutely.
And so, like, just knowing that for my girls, from as long as they can remember, When they wake up, dad's in the house, and I don't have to go anywhere.
That's so underrated.
Obviously, you know, our business is online. We work from home. Not every business is like that. And honestly, even having a 9 to 5, like that's a huge blessing, right? Not gonna take anything away from it.
No,
But for
absolutely
us
not.
personally, that was a big goal that we had with our lives, was to find a way to,
Make money from home.
yeah, and then be present, and then also that gave us the flexibility
Travel.
to travel and do stuff like this,
And
record podcasts with a little wiggle worm here.
have a lot of kids.
You know what I'm saying? He's trying to eat the mic. No, I can't do that. So anyway, I love that. That's good. That's good. All right. With that said, do you have anything else? Anything else?
We'll go see you guys in the next video.